Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
Hi, I'm Jack Berry, and I'm at the Michigan Golf Hall of Fame with one of the Hall of Famers, Randy Erskine, longtime golf professional. He was a pretty good player as an amateur, too, and he's won about everything that there is to win in Michigan, and he's won it more than once. So it's glad to have you here, Randy.
Thank you, Jack. It's my honor to be here. Thank you.
Tell us about your start way back in Cereal City in Battle Creek.
Well, I grew up at a little course called Marywood Country Club. They didn't even have a range, Jack. I had to use my own balls and take my shag bag down, hit them into a field, and hopefully I could find most of them that I hit out there. And that's how I got started, just picking balls up and hitting them. And my dad helped me quite a bit.
Well, that was and then. Were you a high school golfer in Battle Creek? Did they have teams there?
They did. They started one when I was a sophomore in a place called Penfield High School. And then from there, I played pretty well in the state tournaments, but never got to go to the state tournament. So my name really didn't get out there much. And the reason I couldn't go to a state tournament is back then you had to win the regionals to go to the state if you weren't going with a team. You had to individually. Well, I was second 3 years in a row, so I never got to go to state. So I was my only, if I would think of anything in my golf career, I would have loved to play in the state high school tournament. I never got a chance.
Well, you did. They must have heard about you in Ann Arbor because you were on the University of Michigan golf team.
Right. Those were some wonderful days. We got to play 3 years of golf back then. Nobody could play any sport as a freshman when I was going there in 1967 through 70. And those were 3 wonderful years playing amateur golf and against all the people from other schools. As a sophomore, I was third in the Big Ten individually, and then I won an individual title in 1970. So great career.
Well, I remember when you were at Michigan and you were playing in the Michigan Medal Play at Washtenaw Country Club. And Judy, your wife, not going to be your wife, was following you with that long blonde hair.
Oh, yes.
And these other guys who were, they couldn't take their eyes off of her, and you just smoothed right on through.
You better believe it. She was a great distraction for me. So she distracted me. I'd keep on playing right through, and 37 years later, we're still married and just have a wonderful family with 10 grandkids. So it's been a wonderful life. So
man, that's fantastic. And you spent a lot of time in Washtenaw as a golf professional.
10 years at Washtenaw. It was a great experience. I was so honored when they gave me the job and worked 10 years there and met a lot of great people like Bud Stevens and Doug Wilson and had a terrific time. Beat a guy named Glenn Johnson in the Michigan Medal Play one year, and he was my idol kind of growing up. And now to this day, we play golf every week in Florida during the winter time for 3 straight months. We play every week together.
Really? That's terrific. Yeah. Yeah, he's a 5-time Michigan amateur champion and certainly one of the early. My gosh, there he is.
Yes.
And what about in all those amateur victories, what was one that stood out more than maybe any of the others?
Well, I have to say it was the Michigan Medal Play at Washtenaw Country Club because I really never knew if I could win anything until I actually did. Nobody knows that. And once you go through the experience of winning, it helps your momentum for future tournaments. So that first win, and then the next few years after that, I won the Michigan Amateur. So then I knew that I could play within Michigan, but I didn't have any idea that I could play nationally also, which came about later on.
Well, how did that happen? And then you spent some years on the tour and a pretty good time out there.
Yeah, that was back when, well, everybody can say the same thing. Back when we didn't play for a great deal of money back then, so it was kind of hard to stay out there. But I played a full year of mini tours. After I was out of school, I worked for 2.5 years, first of all, selling group health and life insurance in Battle Creek. Then I turned pro, played a mini tour year, qualified 6th out of about 700 players in the country to get my tour card. Then I played 5.5 years, and just now I'd be making over $1 million a year, but back then I was making about $20,000 and just barely breaking even or losing a little bit every year. But it was a great experience.
Yeah, well, actually the prices nowadays, it's like the first more than 100 players on tour all make more than $1 million.
Yeah, it's great for them. I love it. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't want to go back. I've had a wonderful, wonderful life. It's been fabulous.
Well, you've played so well here in Michigan, winning the Michigan Open, winning the PGA Championship. What was some of those years like? I remember you were one of the first years up on the Bear that you won up there.
That was probably my most exciting win. I'd won the Michigan Open previously on the resort course, and then they opened the Bear, and I never broke 82 in my 2 practice rounds, and I was scared to death. I said, I'm going to miss the cut. I'd never missed a cut in Michigan at that point in any tournament, and I thought, I'm going to miss the cut. Well, we did play a Pro-Am that Sunday, I think, and I finally shot 75, but I'd been playing the back tees, which we didn't play in the tournament. So once I got used to the normal tees, and I won the tournament at 2 or 3 over par, and that was a great score back then because I think I won by 1 over Ken Allard. So to win at the Bear was very exciting. And then another thing was exciting. Jack Nicklaus wrote me a letter congratulating me, Randy, and good going at the Bear, and great win.
Well, that's terrific. And thinking of that first year at the Bear, my gosh, it was hard. And now, tell us about going to looking at the Bear now. How those guys drive it with like a driver and a 9-iron or something on the 18th hole.
The kids nowadays, with all the new equipment and the balls, they hit it so far. I'm used to it, but it still amazes me how far they can hit it. And accurately, I might add. They hit it accurately and long, and now the Bear has turned into, I would say, a mediocre golf course in regards to distance. There's many courses that are much longer than the Bear now. A 7,500 yards is nothing. Well, the Bear is 7,000.
Yeah.
So when you take 400 yards off of these kids, they're still wedging it just like Bud Stevens used to. Right.
Yeah, it definitely has changed. Now, you've been at Great Oaks as the golf professional there for a while. How long has that been?
This is my 18th year. I'll be finishing up my 18th year soon. Looking forward to another good year. I'm happy that I'm in an area of Oakland County because, as you know, golf is going through a little phase right now that nobody likes at all. We're losing members at most of the courses and all, but we seem to be pretty well recession-proof in some ways. We do have a large number of members still at Great Oaks. We're a very active membership, both socially and golf, and I'm so happy I'm there.
Good. Well, it's a beautiful golf course, and thank you for letting me play there one day. Played with Big Cat Williams, speaking of long drivers, and my friend Bob Drake, and it was a great time. That is a good-looking golf course. I remember when, in the early days, it wasn't anything like it is now. It's a beautiful golf course.
They've changed it immensely. They put a lot of money into it, irrigation and drainage, and our greens right now are so perfect. I'm honored when anybody comes out because I know they're going to enjoy themselves.
Right. All right, we've been talking with Randy Erskine, a golf professional at Great Oaks, and one of the best players ever in the state of Michigan. And as I say, he's won it all and just about done it all. So thanks very much, Randy.
Thank you, Jack. It's been my pleasure.
All right.